Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeffrey Meldon welcoming you to Meldon Law and Friends. We've got a great episode this week. Our wonderful friends from the American Cancer Society who work in the Gainesville community to help fight breast cancer, and we're going to be with them in just a minute. Kyle Stone and Kemp Howell will be with us. I want to make a few announcements. Of course, we have the Florida-Georgia game coming up this week, and Meldon Law is going to be on there trying to cheer on our Florida Gators and see if we can turn around this tough season. So that's one thing coming up. We also have our radio show, Law Talk Live on the Sky 97.3. We're currently in our 19th year, entering into our 20th year. We started the show in 2002. Please tune it in. Tune into it every Saturday morning at 10:30 on the Sky 97.3. You'll love the show. It's really fun, and we're going to actually be having a broadcast from the Florida-Georgia game this week, so we look forward to you hearing from us. And the other thing is our Scholar Athlete of the Week program on TV20 is in full swing, so check it out. You can go to meldonlaw.com and see who the Scholar Athletes of the Week winners are from North Central Florida community, so please check that out. We are here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in their exceptional podcast room, and I want to make sure if any of you haven't been to Spurrier's, come on out. There's great food, farm to table. It's an incredible museum and restaurant, and everybody loves it out here, and they're just doing fabulous. And as a matter of fact, we have a special going on right now at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, the Berry Blitz. It's a terrific drink, and all proceeds from the sale of this cocktail are going directly towards breast cancer research and awareness. So please support breast cancer and have a good time doing it at the same time. Again, Spurrier's is partnered with the local American Cancer Society to donate proceeds to Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. So Gainesville, let's all get together and help. Again, I want to welcome our guest, Kyle. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
And Kemp, welcome to the show. We really are honored that you've joined us today, and we want to bring awareness to what's going on in our community. Why don't you start, Kyle, and tell us some of the things that you do year in and year out, and then maybe we can talk about some of the individual events that are coming up so we can get everybody really involved.
Okay. So we're coming off a high. We had our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer event on Saturday here at Celebration Point. We had about 1,750 people out here. First thing in the morning, we started out about 6 a.m., but the majority of the crowd got here about 7:30, and our walk started at 9. We had a sea of pink going over I-75 and walking through the Celebration Point area. And, our sponsors and local vendors were here and really put on a great event, and the community really rallied around us and came out to support us.
Yeah, so for those of you that have been out to Celebration Point, you know what Kyle is talking about. If you haven't been out here, this is really a fun place to start an event, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. We started having our meetings here because it's a great place to come and be in the open air. People are comfortable, and they just enjoy being able to maybe have a drink if they want to have during a meeting, and it's just a great location to come out.
So tell everybody who's watching and listening what went on.
Well, we had our vendors. We had our we had Orange Theory came out and did our warm-ups. We had our local cheerleaders from Buchholz, East Side, and who was the other group of cheerleaders that we had?
The East Side Warriors? Or?
Oh, yeah, we had two groups from East Side. We had all of our teams that came out. We had one team that has raised over, they're called the Pink Warriors, have raised over $20,000. They have about 40 people on their team, so they're a big presence here. So it was a sea of pink. That's really all I can tell you, is there is a lot of pink going on with tutus and bras and everything else that was going on out there.
Well, you know, I'm wearing my pink today.
Not your tutu, but
So anyhow, I understand you had a 1K and a 5K walk.
Yes.
And that some people got to walk over the bridge over I-75, and it was just a mass of people.
It was.
1,750 people is an incredible showing. Kemp, tell us a little bit about your involvement and what you were doing this past Saturday.
Well, I was on the committee from day one. You know, we started back in probably March. You know, February, March. It takes a little while to get everything organized and get the committees, the subcommittees set up, and get our committee chairs. And of course, Fitz Kohler was our event chair. And if you don't know Fitz Kohler, you're missing a unique individual, just a sweetheart, a cancer survivor. I'll start off with that. And just a wonderful person that brought so much energy to not only the committee meetings, but the day of the event. She was out there mic'd up, trying to, you know, bring out all the survivors. We had probably 100 survivors that showed up. On top of the 1,750 people that also walked. But the course itself is kind of through Celebration Point. It's really a nice, beautiful walk, and I'm out there with a group of guys that I've been around forever that and ladies. We had some ladies help us, but we get out there and just set up the course, and it takes probably an hour to set up, and by 11 o'clock, we're all done. So it's one of those events, you start early, and you get out of it not too late, and you still have the rest of the day to enjoy.
Now, how long have you been involved with the Cancer Society in the Gainesville area?
Well, Jeffrey, that's a good question, because sometimes I feel that I work for the Cancer Society, and I am a volunteer. Let me just go on record. I work for an environmental consulting firm in town professionally, but my sister fought ovarian cancer about 30 years ago, and thankfully she beat it, and that made me turn into wanting to be a volunteer for this wonderful organization. And again, I've been on the board for about 25 years of it, and it's just been an amazing experience. I've learned a lot about all the advocacy, the research, the patient services that the Cancer Society gives back to the community. And it's just, again, just one of those organizations that we all know someone has been touched by cancer. So it was pretty easy for me to volunteer and be where I'm at today.
Yeah, Kyle, can you tell us some of the things that the local Cancer Society does to give back to the Gainesville community?
Sure. So right now we have 4 researchers that we fund at UF Health, and that's over $3 million that we give back, that comes back to the university. And that's over a 3 to 5 year period. Some of the research programs are 3 years, some are 4, some are 5. So over $3 million coming back into the community.
Wow, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And you sponsor 4 professors, is it? The researchers?
Yes,
there?
all different types of, I know that one is pancreatic cancer. At this time, we don't have any that are studying breast, but they're all different cancers and some sort of ideas, some great ideas that could lead us to really some great treatments.
Explain to us, there's the American Cancer Society. Now, American Cancer Society does a lot of other kinds of cancer research besides just breast cancer, correct?
Yes, all cancers. So our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer funds are restricted to breast cancer, but our Relay for Life and some of our other events our unrestricted funds, which fund all of the other cancers and the research for those cancers.
Wow. So during the course of the year, do you guys raise $3 million, or does that take 3 or 4 years to raise that much?
In our area, in the Gainesville area, we raise about $1 million.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
it's nationwide that, we have local offices all over the United States.
So does the funding to UF Health come from sources other than local sources?
Yes.
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 Okay, so talk a little bit about UF Health and what some of the things they're doing to further cancer research.
So right now, well, for as far as cancer research, it is those 4 researchers, but we also have, our Road to Recovery program, which is one of our services, has been paused because we can't put a patient and a volunteer in a close car together because of COVID. But cancer didn't pause. So we now have a partnership where we funded a transportation grant partnership with UF Health, and it will provide over 5,000 patients rides. It's over, what'd they say it was, 70,000 rides it will provide this grant.
Wow, so that's a big challenge for a lot of folks that are dealing with cancer. They have family members who may be working and they need to make appointments,
Yeah. Yes.
and so providing rides to treatment is critical. And sometimes the family members can't just take off work every Tuesday at, or whenever they have to
Right.
be there.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. We do personal injury, people that have been seriously injured in accidents. We try to help them on their road to recovery. And they come up with the same issues. How do I get to
How
the
do I get there?
appointments? And not only I was in a bad accident, seriously injured, but by the way, they smashed up my
Yeah.
car, and I
Yeah.
don't have a car.
Yeah.
I need to get here and there.
Yeah,
So-
we saw the needs, so, we kind of shifted gears and thought, okay, well, with the money, and we need to provide these grants, and that would be through Uber or buses or whatever that transportation might be.
Well, I think that's, really creative, because it's the simple everyday things sometimes that mean the most to people. Oh, somebody's going to get me to my doctor's appointment, and that's critical as
Sure.
far as recovery. I know, we've had, close friends, family members that have been involved with UF Health as far as, dealing with all kinds of cancer, and they're just an amazing group of professionals out there.
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
long-standing sponsor.
Right. They were our top sponsor this year, our platinum sponsor.
Well, that's great. So we are going to take a break on Meldon Law and Friends, and we will be back with you in 60 seconds. When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. The Gator Nation will be the first to tell you that in all kinds of weather, we all stick together, which is why Meldon Law is honored to be the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We hope you never find yourself the victim of a serious accident, but if you do, our team is here for you. Gators won't back down from a fight, and neither do we. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. What a great podcast room. Isn't this cool in here?
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We got all of the coaches' helmets for all the teams he was affiliated with over the years. And for those of you that haven't been out here, come out and join it. It's really a special place. Gainesville has opened recently, and it's a museum, a fabulous restaurant. And again, we love having Spurrier's host us here in their podcast room. our guest, are Kemp Howell and Kyle Jayne Stone. And I want to switch to Kemp for a minute. Kemp, I know you're wearing a shirt, Real Men Wear Pink. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. I'd love to. So we were just talking about the breast cancer walk before we went to all the research at U of F. The breast cancer walk has like a spin-off that we call, it's a Real Men Wear Pink campaign. And as the women are out there and men trying to raise money for the breast cancer walk itself, the Cancer Society came up with this Real Men Wear Pink campaign about 5 or 6 years ago. I believe it started in Tennessee or Kentucky, and it was just a way for gentlemen or men within the community to kind of do their own fundraising, and it just spun off, and it's been very, very successful. I think it's been in 2019. I think they made over 1.8 million across the country. What we try to do every year, parallel with the breast cancer walk, is to try to round up about 10 men, and some of the credentials are what you need to do is wear pink in the month of October. You have to commit to raising $2,500 per man, and then just be a spokesperson through our social media that we set them up with, and just be that ambassador as a Real Men Wear Pink. And we get them, we kind of put them up on a pedestal, and we kind of show them off. We have a kickoff meeting. Whereas, Kyle and myself as a staff person and a volunteer kind of fire them up and say, hey, we need you to go out there in the community and talk about this walk coming up, but also talk about, men and women can get diagnosed with breast cancer. I know I read a stat the other day that over 2,800,000 women are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021, and over 3,000 men are going to be diagnosed. So again, we all know cancer does not discriminate. So it's just, again, kind of a fun way. And what we did, we teamed up with Spurrier's, and I'll hold this up, is where we had Steve Spurrier sign a visor, one of his earmarked visors, and we branded it not only for Steve himself, the gridiron, but we also have the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer emblem on it. And these can be sold, these are being sold at Spurrier's for $50, and the proceeds going to the American Cancer Society throughout the rest of the year.
Wow. So if I want to volunteer, then can I get a shirt like you have?
Actually, we asked you earlier if you'll be a
Yes.
Real Man Wear Pink for
next
2022.
Okay.
Yep, coming up, you'll get a shirt, you'll get all kinds of swag. We'll get you some pink swag.
And we support you. We will support you.
Yes.
Well, great. Well, we have a really active Facebook page, and what we want to do is get the word out to all of the folks that follow us on Facebook. And, this broadcast is a Facebook broadcast. So
I'll
it's
provide the
really
link on the Facebook page.
cool.
Yeah, we
well,
said
that,
do that, yeah.
that is awesome because, I've been following what y'all do for years and years and years. I always, I'll be driving on Saturday, usually to my radio show on Saturday morning, and I'll see, long lines of people, making strides, right?
Right, all in pink.
And in closing, I just want to make sure I give a shout out to the Real Men. Their goal was 35,000 this year, and I believe they're going to be 40 to 45,000. They're going to
at
blow
40
it up.
now, and we have a couple more events that
coming
are
up.
that are coming up.
So again,
yeah.
my hat's off to all the
Yeah,
real men
they really
that wear
stepped up.
pink out of the
Yeah.
Gainesville, Florida.
Well, I also understand we have some more fun events coming up. So let's talk about that. What's the next event that is coming up?
Well, this one's near and dear to my heart, Jeffrey, and I will say that it's at Swamphead Brewery. So if there's a connection between trying to raise money for, not breast cancer, but cancer itself research, there's also the connection about good beer. So we did this about 5 or 6 years ago just to try to, kind of spin off on our own to raise money for, cancer and research and the patient services like Kyle's explained. And what we do is every year we've been, this will be our 6th year, but for this year we'll be meeting November 8th from 5:30 to 9 at Swamphead Brewery. Tickets are $35 day of. Before, I think advance tickets are $30. You walk in the door, you get a free beer, you get a commemorative glass, a pint glass. We have food on the table for you. We have music. And what we have is just, and we do have a silent auction, but we just have a way for everybody to give back again to the fight against cancer, because we are going to find a cure one of these days. But anyway, it's a fun group. About 100, 150 people show up. And we have one thing we did last year that was very clever of us. We did a tailgate wagon. And that is, what we did was we took a wagon and literally put all sorts of spirits in it. So we have a little bit of beer, we have a little bit of wine, maybe a bottle of rum, but whatever. And we raised over $3,000 on this tailgate wagon. So we pulled it.
So now
it's a
describe what
raffle.
this wagon. I mean, are we talking like a little toy wagon or
No, sir.
a
It's
station wagon?
good. That's an excellent question, actually. It's probably a little bit not as big as a wheelbarrow, but it's a pretty good sized
It's a
wagon.
collapsible wagon, like something you might use in the yard, but it's filled with booze.
So after I drink all the booze, I can give the
somebody
wagon to
can-
my grandchildren?
Somebody can pull you in the wagon after you drink it all.
Anyway, we again, it's just a fun event. It's on a Monday night, and it's exclusive. We have
Okay.
we have the brewery to ourselves.
So who or how do our listeners and viewers find out more about this event?
I can put that link also to tickets and information on the website. I'll
So-
put it on the Facebook.
So what is your website?
So our website is ACS Go. It's a very weird little go to Greater Giving. It's a very long one. It's easier for me just to put it right into the chat, and people can click on it and go.
Okay, okay. So for these events, though, I mean, is there like American Cancer Society Gainesville? Will that get them to your website?
American Cancer, just cancer.org will get us to get anybody to the website that they're going to need. Each event has a different.
Right, right. But what I always try to do is, for me, to simplify it, because I can't remember a whole lot, so.
Cancer.org. Cancer.org.
Cancer.org.
Cancer.org. That's all you need to know.
Okay. And the Swamp Head where's that located now?
That's by the old bowling alley, right down.
Yeah, by Alley Cats off
The
post office.
34th
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
by the
right.
post office.
So it's off 34th Street. So it's Monday, November 8th,
5:30.
5:30 till 9. That'll fit in great for me because I work out from 5:30 to 6:30. So I'll earn my beer.
There you go. You can do your curls with a beer.
Yeah. Now, I understand there's another big event in December at this
Yes.
exciting new venue. Why don't you tell us about that, Kyle?
Okay. So on December 10th, we're going to have our second annual Rosé Gala. It is at 1908 Grand, which is a new venue at 215 North Main. It is the old historic Masonic Lodge, and it's all being redone. It's going to be gorgeous, and that event is a pink event. I say formal, it's long dresses, it's very pink, it's men in coats. Wear a tie if you want to, but be very creative in your pink attire. But we'll have
Kyle gave me permission to wear this pink sport coat again to the event. So it's not formal, black tie formal.
It's perfect. It's
pink.
perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everybody who's watching and listening, remember this is going to be huge, and this is a historic building, so it's going to be
Yes.
really exciting.
Beautiful.
Nobody has seen. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Masons, who are, the members of the Masonic Lodge, were the greatest builders in our country.
That's true.
And so this is this great historic building on North Main Street, right in the middle of downtown Gainesville. And I've watched it for the last 50 years kind of deteriorate. And then Keith Perry came in and just spent a ton of money fixing it up and renovating it. So this is going
It's
to be
going
a
to be
really
beautiful.
exciting event.
Yes, looking forward to it. I will put in the chat the link for the tickets. Tickets are still available. Sponsorship opportunities are still available. So come
So-
on out. We'll have a good time.
So what's going to go on there at this
So we'll have
big party?
food. We have always a large silent auction. We have DJs. We have, we'll have a paddle raise. We might have a special live auction item, maybe some piece of jewelry. So you won't want to miss it. But it's just a great event. It's, The bars will be open, the dancing will be happening, so come out and have a good time.
Yeah, you're even transporting people back and forth, right?
VIP tickets will transport you to the event. You'll have an hour of food and drink and music before everybody gets there. So, and then we also have a wine pull. So we'll have a lot of
wine
activity.
pull?
Wine pull, where you
Tell
buy
us
a
what that-
ticket and you pick a closed, it'll all be covered.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're gonna get, but could be surprised.
There's some great values there, and it all
Yep.
goes to
Yes.
a wonderful cause. And these events are really fun. My daughter is involved in nonprofits, and
wow.
she calls these parties social philanthropy.
Yeah, there you go. I love that.
And so the fact is, they really are fun.
Yeah.
I go to them, and you meet really nice people. You have a good time. You help a great cause, and that's what could be wrong with
All
that?
for a good
right?
cause.
To
Yep.
speak to that, Jeffrey, I will have to add that as a volunteer, when you come off of an event like the Strides, the Relay for Life, the other one we do in April, you get this feeling of just making a difference. It's I wish I could describe it more, but you're just floating on a cloud. It seems like you're just so proud that you gave 3 or 4 hours. You sweated. You pulled a muscle. But you saw survivors, with a grin on their face. You saw people come out with money. That's again supporting this cause that one day we will find the cure. But I guess I just wanted to kind of spin off what you're saying. It's really just a really, really neat, great, very good feeling.
Well, I think that's absolutely important for everybody listening. But if you can't remember anything, just remember American Cancer Society, the website, put that in there. If you want to put Gainesville in there, it'll direct you to where you need to go. And what we would like to do is encourage everybody to get involved. This year, there's still a lot going on.
Yes.
Although October was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, year-round there's activities going on, and that the Gainesville community is very unique. We have UF Health here. There's a lot of people that are very, very involved in both breast cancer awareness and cancer awareness in general. So I want to thank both of you for coming on the show, and hopefully everybody can see our really exciting Spurrier's hat come out.
I think you need to put it
Spurrier.
on to do.
Yeah.
I think you
so you can
There you go.
you can
Yay.
come out to Spurrier's, buy one of these really cool hats, and you can drink your berry
Blitz.
what is
Berry
it?
Blitz.
Berry Blitz, yeah. So anyhow, we're getting ready to take a 3-minute break on Meldon Law and Friends, and when we get back, we have a surprise guest for you, the marketing director for Meldon Law and Friends, Charles Rickie. So we'll be back in 3 minutes and see you soon.
Hey, how are you?
Mine is not her family.
Y'all can still tell the credit, John. That's not so bright.
Hey, you're good.
Have that.
When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Look what you have done to my truck.
Excuse me, it's your fault, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is your
No,
fault.
it's not. No,
I
it's
am
not.
calling Jeffrey Meldon from Meldon Law.
So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, my husband.
Meldon Law, this is Jeffrey speaking.
This crazy lady here, this crazy lady, he might...
New client? Yes, but this one might be a little tricky. The Gator Nation will be the first to tell you that in all kinds of weather, we all stick together, which is why Meldon Law is honored to be the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We hope you never find yourself the victim of a serious accident, but if you do, our team is here for you. Gators won't back down from a fight, and neither do we. We still hear it. The sound of victory. The joy of being part of something great. And while things may not be the same right now, we haven't gone anywhere. If you bleed orange and blue, then Meldon Law is the firm for you. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder of Meldon Law, and we want to welcome our special guest to the show, Charles Rickie. How are you doing today, Charles?
Great. Excited to be here. Excited to make it to the Meldon Law podcasts and friends. I've made it. I'm excited. You have some great guests, on the show, and I'm just glad to hear and talk to the Gainesville community.
So, what's really significant about this show, last week's episode was show 52. So if my math is correct, we are starting our second season of Meldon Law and Friends today. So that's pretty exciting. And what a great first half of the show. Those folks, Kyle and Kemp, were just amazing. And, we really appreciate our community sponsors and community organizations. And what better community organization is there than the American Cancer Society that does so much for Gainesville and working on finding cures for cancer. So we're very, very pleased. So Charles, tell us a little bit about your day job.
So I'm really excited because I am now the Director of Marketing and Community Relations for Meldon Law, which, someone like myself who really enjoys marketing, I get to touch all aspects of marketing within the business, the community, and I'm tremendously excited about it, really excited about it. And I feel like, all the years of experience, all the things I've done, the different companies, the events, the marketing, we'll get more into that, but have led me to this position to be able to help Meldon Law, the firm, and continue to do great things that they've been doing in the community.
So let's talk about your early days. What were some of your first jobs that led you into marketing?
So I worked for the #1 duty-free liquor distributor on the East Coast United States. It was a real cool job because I used to work with a lot of major brands like Heineken, Miller Lite, Budweiser, Corona, and we would unleash marketing, promotions, activations throughout all the cruise ships on the East Coast of the United States. So we'd help Royal Caribbean, Carnival unleash programs and really get that activation promotion going. And then the next job...
Now, wait. I want to ask you, you told me you had been on a gazillion cruise ships, but you only took one cruise in your whole life. Tell us about how that worked.
So that is really unique. I used to travel every port on the East Coast of the United States, from Puerto Rico all the way to Boston, New York, Philadelphia, you name it. I've been there, Cape Canaveral, on and on. And I would go on different ships and activate programs and, drop off promotional items, talk to the bar managers, and really execute the promotion. It's really cool. So I've stood on over 75 cruise ships from Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, all types of brands, but only cruise once.
So what would you'd go on early, and then you would you would wind up.
Yeah, so I'd go on earlier, and basically when the cruise ship was in port, I would get on the ship really early in the morning. Everyone's getting off, I'm getting on, and I'm talking to the bar manager. Our trucks that would carry the distribution of all the liquor, beer, would also have the promotional items that I sent them. So I would walk down to the belly of the ship with the bar manager. We'd make sure all the promotional items were there. We'd have it planned, lay out the execution, and it was a really good time.
So you got to give away a lot of free things and make people's time a little happier.
Yes, 100%, and which led for them to buy more beer, more alcohol, which is what we were doing at the time. Yep.
Cool. So, and what kind of a job did you take next after that? What did that lead you into?
So that actually led me to work at Eagle Brands, which is the largest beer distributor in the state of Florida. It's a Budweiser house specializing in Budweiser. And I learned a lot there as far as on-premise activations, on-premise promotions. Budweiser is a big marketing company. And, learned a lot about execution and had a really good time there. And, it was a blast. Was there for almost 7 years.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, what better place to learn marketing than Budweiser? They dominate the beer market. You might know this. What percentage of the beer market do the Budweiser and all its brands dominate? What percentage do they have?
Between them, I would say they probably have 60-70% of the market share. They would like to hear that. I'm sure Miller Lite would not like to hear that. But, they've gobbled up a lot of people, and they're doing good things. And that, them and activating other brands allows the distribution to increase so that people can enjoy different beers.
Yeah, that's really, I remember the time when I could remember about 3 or 4 beers, and that was it. And maybe there were 20 beers that you would find in the country, and there wasn't much more. This was before, Corona, before you saw Heineken's regularly, before you saw, Dos Equis and all these different brands.
Yep, and now there's craft beers all over the place.
Yeah, so tell us, you know a little bit about craft beer, right?
Yeah, so I am a Cicerone level 1, which is you have to take a test. It's not just drink beer and have fun. And you got to take a test learning on draft beer. And, once you pass that, you become Cicerone level 1, and you can further advance that education. But I took pride in it. We're selling beer, and it's just beer. But when you take pride in what you do, it really helps your sales, and it really allows people to know that you have a passion for it, which helped me in my current and at the situation at the time.
So what's the criteria to become a Cicerone 1?
Well, you got to have a good palate. First of all, you got to like beer. You got to like all types of beer. And, you have to study, the different characteristics of the beer, how they pair with food, the different scents, the different smells, the taste, the textures. And I would say you need to drink a lot of beer to get there, which is the most important thing.
Well, when you're doing the testing, do you sip it like the wine tasting stuff?
Yeah, all of that's involved. The smell, the tasting, the sipping, the pairing with different things. The glassware, Jeffrey, depending what glassware you have, allows certain aromas to breathe. That's why different beer has different glassware. It's not just for looks. There's a reason to all that.
Yeah, and I love my branded beer containers, right?
Yep.
Because they all have a different shape, and I didn't really realize that there was a reason for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So you worked with Budweiser, and like I said, there's no better marketer than Budweiser. Whether you drink Bud or Bud Light or one of their other many brands, they really know the most as far as marketing. So that must have been quite an experience. What did that lead you to next?
So you nailed it. That experience, Jeffrey, of seeing that giant company activating Super Bowls at Dolphin Stadium and just really having fun led me to increase my passion for marketing, which brought me to Odyssey. Odyssey is the second largest media company, in the country. There's iHeartMedia, there's Odyssey, and Odyssey does a really good job at what it does. So I started in South Florida, working with stations down there, selling the Miami Hurricanes, selling the Heat, selling, all the sports teams down there, and really learning radio, what it was all about, how to activate it, the passion. And then that led me to Gainesville. And
tell us a little bit about what it's like to be in the radio industry.
The radio industry is fast. It's happening. Jeffrey, you have to wear different hats, because one thing unique about the radio industry is that, there's a lot of different businesses and everyone wants that space. They want the attention, and they all have different ways to do it. So whether you're a burger company, a beer company, liquor company, a construction company, you need to find a way to find your target audience and then trying to come up with a right message or the right station or the right, market, all, comes into play to help you deliver the best message possible.
So you were kind of a consultant to customers who were looking to get their message out. You would help direct them to the best format, the best. Certain stations deliver messages to different demographics.
Correct. There's sports stations, there's news talk stations, there's hip hop stations, there's country stations. We all say no station is bad. They all have different listeners, but at the end of the day, they reach a certain audience. And if you want to reach that target audience, you need that station. And then once you get on the station, you need the right message to be able to talk to that audience, and all that marketing comes into play. And South Florida was unique because South Florida, you guys know, is dominantly Hispanic. So you need to be able to construct a certain message that's going to hit that target audience, that's going to work for Miami that might not necessarily work for Gainesville.
What are some of the important elements of constructing a message that will resonate with the audience, regardless of what demographic the station is?
So, there's two ways to really break it down, Jeffrey. And I would say the message, there's branding message and a call to action message. The branding message is really important because everyone needs to know your brand, your morals, your values, what you're about as a company, so they can know if they want to do business with you. After you've branded, you need to make sure to change to a call to action campaign so that you can really start measuring the ROI from all the branding you've been doing. If you continue branding for years and years, you might not necessarily, get to the ROI, and you might be wasting some money. So at some point, you want to strategically, Jeffrey, change the message so that you can now have a call to action to measure. Everything is analytics. And one thing with Odyssey is that we can measure the analytics after the commercial has been aired. So radio's really grown, Jeffrey, in the sense that, the technology behind it, it's not just, maybe people are listening in the car. Odyssey can really tune in and measure your website traffic 8 minutes after your commercial airs, and then give you data based on that. So you can know what day parts to air, you can know what commercial. So if you have a commercial that's targeting men, targeting women, one morning, one night, you can know which one's performing better for you.
Well, that's great information. And so when you were working in the radio industry, you could help your customers figure out what their best value was as far as where to place their radio spots.
Yes, 100%, because it is important. I mean, let's be real, Jeffrey. If you're talking burgers and happy hour, I might not necessarily want to put the commercial at 6:45 in the morning. But at 4:30, 5 o'clock, when people are driving home on a Thursday, Friday afternoon, I want to lay in that happy hour commercial. So there is a time and a place for everything.
Well, it's really fascinating. We're going to get into more with Charles Rickie, Marketing Director for Meldon Law, and we're going to start segueing into how Meldon Law works and markets and gets our message out to our community. We're going to be back in 60 seconds on Meldon Law and Friends. The Gator Nation will be the first to tell you that in all kinds of weather, we all stick together, which is why Meldon Law is honored to be the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We hope you never find yourself the victim of a serious accident, but if you do, our team is here for you. Gators won't back down from a fight, and neither do we.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Look what you have done to my truck.
Excuse me, it's your fault, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is your
No,
fault.
it's not, no,
I
it's
am
not.
calling Jeffrey Meldon from Meldon Law.
So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, my husband.
Meldon Law, this is Jeffrey speaking.
This crazy lady here, this crazy lady here might...
New client? Yes, but this one might be a little tricky. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, and I'm here with the marketing director for Meldon Law, Charles Rickie. Charles, what a great interview we had so far. I'm really fascinated. We talk about some of this stuff, and it's really interesting to me because I enjoy marketing, and I also like to help folks. And we try to market well at Meldon Law because we know we do a great job for our clients.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
so,
yes.
So it goes hand in hand. If you do a great job and nobody knows about you and you're hiding under a rock, you can't help as many people. So our goal is to get the word out and then follow through with great service, great communication, and follow our core values.
And Jeffrey, one thing I've noticed, in the position now, yourself, Carrie, the firm Meldon Law does a really good job at doing things within the community, and it's important to promote that as much as possible, because it's important to give back to the community, and you want to highlight those certain things like the Scholar Athlete Program. And I don't think enough people do enough. And one thing I was very excited at working at Meldon Law is that Jeffrey and Carrie and the team at Meldon Law do it the right way. In my opinion, they go through the community, they go through these scholar athletes, and they really give back, which to me allows you to have a very strong marketing presence because people want to do business with you. So I'm very proud of that, and that's something that I want to highlight going forward.
Well, it's been a great experience. Josh Howard was our marketing director for 5 years. Josh is getting ready to go to law school in a little while, and fortunately, he's still got a little bit of time left so that he can collaborate with you and learn. I mean, you've been at Meldon Law for 5 or 6 or 7 weeks now, right?
Yeah, it's been a blast, and when you're having so much fun, enjoying what you do, you don't really feel the time, but it's been about a month and a half.
So Charles is absorbing all this. We told him, Charles, take about 3 months absorbing everything that we do at Meldon Law. And he said, I can't wait 3 months. I got to jump in the fire quickly. And we're very appreciative of that because things are really rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we went to Washington, D.C. to a PILMA event. I went with Jeffrey, learned a lot about legal marketing, met other marketing professionals, a bunch of other attorneys, and really shared some stories in marketing with attorneys throughout the country in different firms. It was eye-opening, exciting, and I came back just ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, these lawyer conferences can really give you great ideas. And in marketing, what you're trying to do is to come up with ways to connect with your community. In Meldon Law, we try to do that by giving back to the community as one of our foundations. So why don't we talk about some of the other things that you've been involved in since you've been at Meldon Law as far as team efforts at trying to get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what we've done some really good things. Another focus we're turning into is the Hispanic community. We understand that Ocala has a giant population, a big population of Hispanics coming into Ocala. Now we're, pretty soon opening offices in Lake City. So we really want to, allow the firm to be accessible to everyone. So with 3 offices in North Central Florida, it really helps the marketing efforts. And we're new members of the Hispanic Business Council. So shout out to Julian. They went to the Ocala office the other day and they welcomed us with open arms. So we're really excited to merge, interact, have fun, and collaborate with the Hispanics throughout not only Ocala, but North Central Florida in general, so we can really expand our footprint. We've hired, full bilingual Hispanic attorneys in Maria Youngblood Perez. And, really just, putting ourselves to be a staple firm in this market.
Yeah, we have a number of people in the office. Yolanda, Maria. We got two. So we just hired two Marias. So we're trying to figure out how to. One's going to be Maria. The other one's like Ria, and Sierra, and a bunch of other folks. So it's really our firm is Spanish friendly.
Yep.
And we've had a long time relationship with Elio Piedra. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Elio's been fantastic. You guys know Elio brings the fiesta all over Gainesville and throughout North Central Florida. He's really done a really good job at expanding his brand, and he's an ambassador of the Meldon brand. And Elio has done some fantastic commercials with Patricia. Patricia is, Venezuelan Cuban, Jeffrey's wife, and they've really had fun making some really creative commercials, getting it out there, not only in English, but in Spanish. So we're really thinking outside the box to do things different, to be able to touch everyone in the community. And Elio's been a big part of that. We're going to continue doing it. We're going to have some fun. We have some marketing stuff collaborating. He's giving some stuff on his morning coffee show. So I'm a huge fan of Elio, and him and I work together a lot of collaborations on some commercials, and we're going to continue to do that.
Yeah, Elio's he's got his own podcast. What is it? Every morning.
Yep.
Morning
coffee.
Morning coffee with Elio.
Yep.
And Meldon Law is a big sponsor of a number of the podcasts emanating out of Gainesville because they are our community here. Shane Matthews. We support the sports show with Jeff Cardozo on ESPN 850 radio here in Gainesville every Monday through Friday. And we're also supporting a lot of different organizations because we want to be the community law firm. What are some of the goals that you have in the future as far as furthering that goal to be the law firm that gives back to the community?
One thing we want to do is really, we're doing great with the scholar athletes. We want to continue the school and education. We want to help the churches too. We want to be a big part in the churches throughout the community. By the way, all types of churches, a lot of different cultures. We want to be able to give back and help, and really cement ourselves as the community law firm. I mean, you guys know that we have the Gator sponsorship. We've had a ton of fun with that, but we also want to give back too. It's not just about that. It's about really having deep roots within this community, and we're excited to do that. So, we're going to be tackling a lot of, we're big with the chamber. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the Ocala chamber. We're adding the Lake City chamber. We're obviously in the Gainesville chamber. So really boots on the ground, if you will. We're going to be shaking a lot of hands and really just expanding our footprint throughout the community. Not to say many names, a lot of people, talk the talk. We're actually going to be walking the walk throughout the community. So that's a challenge that I have that Jeffrey's put on me that I'm really excited about because I'm going to meet a lot of people throughout the community and really help expand the brand in Meldon Law.
For all of our viewers and listeners, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and 39 audio channels.
Yep. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok's coming soon. So we're really not leaving anything behind. We're going to be on every single form of social media we can be. We're going to have fun at the office. Which, by the way, I've learned that in our office, we have some great staff. We have great people to make things happen. And we want to push that. We want to let the community know the people that are, in our office, not just Jeffrey and Carrie and our attorneys that are out there fighting for you guys, but, the people behind the scenes that really make it happen. So really a lot of the marketing that Jeffrey's talking about is kind of grassroots, just highlighting what we do best and highlighting it through the different communities.
So, for example, this podcast, Meldon Law and Friends, is designed to give a voice to community organizations. Any of you who are listening or watching, please let us know if your organization wants to get some publicity for free. We're glad to promote you and get your message out there. If you just call Meldon Law, 352 373-8000. Ask for Charles Rickie, and he'll put it together. We really enjoy all of our podcast friends. We've had, let's see, over 100 different guests in the past year, and it's exceptional. It's an exceptional experience. I want to tell you that getting to know the people who are giving back to the North Central Florida community, not just Gainesville, not just Ocala, but Lake City and all the surrounding counties. Very, very important aspect of our commitment to the community.
And you know, Jeffrey, Law Talk Live is another commitment. I mean, a radio show, the longest Law Talk radio show running on the East Coast. I mean, talk about you giving back information to the community on Saturday mornings. Jeffrey's on, Carrie's on, sometimes Chris is on. And really, it's an opportunity for you guys to call in and just access information, which not everyone's doing. You know, and that's something that we don't have to do, but we enjoy doing, just as Jeffrey said with the podcast. So, you know, between that outlet, the podcast, and everything we're doing, it's a way for us to give information back to the community.
Yeah, and on Law Talk Live, we give a voice to community organizations. If you want to show up and plug whatever event you got coming on, welcome. Give us a call. If you want to just call in, that's another option. What we want to do is let people in the North Central Florida community know what's going on, when it's going on. And like last week, boy, there was a bunch of stuff. You know, the breast cancer awareness walk was here. Right on the other side of I-75, they had a great car show going on at Butler Plaza. There was a number of different community events, the Tom Petty celebration.
And speaking of information given back, guys, we're going to be at FanFest for the Sanford game. We want you guys to stop by, you know, say hi, let us know that you saw us on the podcast. We're going to have our tent out there for the Sanford game, and we're going to be excited, to give back to you guys. So make sure you stop on by. Another thing I wanted to mention is that meldonlaw.com has a new face. We have a new website. So if you haven't been able to go on meldonlaw.com, please, www.meldonlaw.com. Check out our new website, sign up for our newsletter. We have a lot of great information throughout the community. We have giveaways. Go on meldonlaw.com. We're doing some tickets, right? Volleyball tickets, football tickets. So we're doing a lot, and we're giving the platform for you guys to be able to go on and access this information.
The other thing that's really important is if you have any legal problem and you want to talk with us, we do not charge you to give you initial consultation to figure out whether or not you have a case. A lot of times I can direct people to how to solve their problem, and it's not as big a problem as they may think. So Meldon Law will help you find somebody to solve your problem. All you do is give us a call at the number. It's either 1-800-373-8000 or 352-373-8000. If you can't remember that, just go to meldonlaw.com.
Or like Elio says, Jamalo.
Yama Meldon Law.
Yep.
That's it. We have our own jingle now. You're going to be hearing that. It's pretty catchy. So we're getting near the end of another great episode of Meldon Law and Friends. I want to thank Charles Rickie, the marketing director at Meldon Law, for coming on the show and talking a little bit about what our philosophy is, what we can do to help you, our viewers and listeners, promote your company, your organization, and talk about what's going on in North Central Florida. It's really a privilege. I've lived here for 51 years now, and I love every minute of it. And we're here to stay. So thank you again, Charles, for showing up on the show. And we'll be back next week with a special edition of Law Talk. I'm sorry, Meldon Law and Friends. But check out Law Talk Live this Saturday at 10:30 on the Sky 97.3. We'll see you later. Goodbye.